That's why it was called The Lady.
And then a bunch of ladies left.
And some dudes came.
And they said, well, who could approximate the ladies who left? They said, well, Nathan Ehrmann and Kyle Berthelsen, of course.
Yeah, those are the most lady-like men I know.
Yeah.
You should call it Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah, well, the name that came out last Sunday was Night Breakfast. Which I'm like, I like the name of that. It has good cadence, good sound to it. But it's such a prototypical improv troupe name. Because it's like, hey guys, we're angry sweatpants when the lights come up. Hey guys, we're pajama weekend when the lights come up. Hey guys, we're flower print boxers when the lights come up.
Hey man,
Those
don't spoil all the best improv names.
That was
I don't
all
know.
clothing based. All three of those were
Interesting.
I don't know. It's like I'm very happy that when a team that I coached for a while, they decided the name Splendid.
Yeah, I like
which
that
I really
name.
enjoy because it's not gimmicky. It's not telling you anything about the show. They're just like, hey, we're going to come out here with a nice little poppy name, and then we're going to do a show for you when lights come up. That's it. We're going to come out here and be like, guys, can we get a suggestion from the audience? Like, what do you want in your egg roll? It's like, ugh. Ugh. Play it straight, you dummies.
who wants different things in egg rolls?
Well, you might want pork, you might want chicken, you might want like shrimp if it's a fancy egg roll.
Nah, I'm all pork all the way.
So wait, earlier you were talking about street level.
Oh yeah, street level bullshit.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, street level bullshit is the term that I use for like acting the way that you do in the real world. So like when someone comes up to you and is like, "Oh hi, how are you?" and you're like, "Oh, I'm well." You look well. "Oh, how are your kids?" "Oh, they're lovely." Like you're just lying to each other. That's all we do in the real world. Just lie all the time. Just armor fully up. I don't want you to see who I am because it's soft and mushy on the inside, and if you touch it, I die. And no one would pay to see that on the stage, right? I could just sit in a break room at work and I could see people be fake to each other. And so I'm always telling people, like, you just have to be real. And part of being real is taking that risk of, like, if someone looks angry and they come in, they're like, "I'm a rhinoceros and I just want to eat a hamburger." And then they're like, "You look angry." Like, just say that to them and see if it pinches them at all and makes them act in a particular way. And that is kind of an actory, like I don't want to say Meisnery, but like a thing to do, because the term that this particular teacher I'm working with uses is a pinch, which is like you want to make somebody react. Like you can sit there, we can be looking at each other and doing lines, and then Amy might just reach out and just like pinch my arm, and I'll say the line differently because I'm reacting, as opposed to just reciting. We did 10 and switch today, which for those of you who are Austrian listeners is.
We have a big Austrian fan base, okay?
And they don't know anything about improv either. I'm giving them the whole lowdown.
They're learning.
So 10 and switch exercise where you just put someone on stage by themselves. They do a character. You say switch. They do another one. They do that 10 times. So 10 total characters. And
I love that exercise.
I love the exercise because it breaks people a little bit, and you have to get broken. You have to feel nervous, because then you can access so many different pathways to like good notes. Like someone can be like, "Well, what do I do when I'm nervous?" And you're just like, "Well, just breathe." Like, and so I gave so many breathing notes today about like, "Hey, I saw when you stopped breathing. Like you maybe didn't know, but I saw when you stopped breathing." And immediately you got tense and you got in your head. So, like, you can't really control what's going on up in your brain too much, but you can control your breathing. So just breathe. And you see people, like, I call it the teleprompter, where it's like someone's, like, telegraphing the lines coming up, and they're acting more on premise than they are on character. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, let the teleprompter break. Like, say the words until you run out of them, and then, boom, you're alone, you're in the moment, you're scared, and you just start being a human being on stage. And that's what I want to see. Because everything else up to that point is like kind of gimmicky and also kind of fake, kind of street level. Like, I want to see stuff that's vulnerable. Like, I call it, the soft, mushy insides. Like, if a character comes in the stage, we did an exercise where I just had people keep asking each other why. When someone's like, "I'm Rhonda and I want a promotion." "Why?" "Because I've been doing good work." "Why?" And then just keep going until finally Rhonda's like, "Well, because I guess no one ever approved of me when I was a kid." Yeah! Attack that soft, weird stuff. Because that's what anyone's going to get. I don't know. I feel like those are the moments of discovery and fascination. Mm. I always tell people, aim to fascinate over a muse. Like, everyone comes out of level 1, and usually in their level 1 recital, amuses the shit out of 40 of their friends and family. And they're like, I didn't know you could be so funny and charming and amusing. But of course, they walk out of that theater forgetting everything they just saw. Whereas when someone walks out of a really brilliant performance, they were fascinated. They're like, I wonder what did happen to that coal miner who didn't like his son buying too many bitcoins, you know?
I'll be honest, that's how I feel every time I watch Opposites.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enchanted by every character they ever make, and like, I'm constantly thinking later of the future of these characters that don't exist.
I think that's what you want in good improv. I think that's what we want. Well, just in good performance in general. It's like, someone walks out and they're captivated. They're frozen. They don't know what to do. And it's not this amusement that they can just shrug off. Which I think is hard with Austin crowds. I know for our Austrian listeners, Austin is full of just apathetic, too cool for school people that I think, like, I don't know. Sometimes we get crowds in the new movement that it's just like, this is your stop between home and, like, some bar that you're going to later. Like, you're not. I don't like you. I was getting really mad at this hypothetical audience member. I don't like you, Rachel.
The other day, I'm doing a new improv troupe with Brett, Malia, and Eliana.
Dirty Sunshine.
Indeed.
Yeah, we all know.
Okay, sorry.
We've all seen Malia's huge Facebook pushes.
Anyway, we did this. Red brought up the idea of having a fight club, like dudes having a fight club. So look forward to that. Somebody could be, ask you to punch them at some point. Anyway, I was like, the girls were like, I want to get involved. And they're like, yeah, but I don't want anyone to punch me. And we were like, let's just do a verbal fight club where, like, we just say mean things to each other. And it's like, yeah. And then as soon as Red was like, okay. And Red shuts the door. And we, like, immediately just start yelling at this person in the middle. And we just go around the circle. And we're just ripping to shreds this fake person.
Okay. So
like,
it was
like,
a real person.
it was like, how dare you fucking stand there? What are you going to say something? Or what's your deal? And it would go worse and worse. It'd be like, your hair is disgusting. I mean, like, everyone that talks to you is like, is that a rat's nest? Like, it got so horrific. And then at one point, Brett said something, I don't know what it was, but it was so bad, we were all like, oh! And then we're like, I think that's the end.
Any exercise that focuses on negativity, I think, can be problematic.
Indeed.
There's one I used to do, which was kind of like stretch and confess. I called it high kick. And the idea was people would talk about shitty things that had happened to them recently, and then the whole group would go high kick and would just kick in the air and just be like real mad with them. And you would just go out and because I'm just airing out your shit, like leaving it at the door. That way you're not taking it with you on stage. But at the same time, for me, vocalizing that negative stuff gets it out of me. But I think for some people, it's like more of them embracing it. So So when someone's looking at this imaginary person and being like, you smell bad every Wednesday, like, they're really holding on to that because they're saying that about themselves.
Yeah.
They're like,
we shaped that self-hating golem right in the middle of that room.
Yeah.
For sure. Because after we finished, we were all like, ugh.
That was me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we forced ourselves to do a happy warm-up.
It's like, I imagine Red Jefferson comes in with a top hat on with like a little magical cape and then like swooshes it over the empty space in the middle and it turns into 5 mirrors. It was you all along!
I like the idea that Red's like a magician who reveals your true self to you.
For our Austrian listeners, Red Jefferson is a real character at the New Movement Theater and all over town, really.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone were going to end up being some sort of magical imp, it would be him.
I suppose that's true.
And, like, imps are normally tiny, but Red's one of the bigger people I've ever met.
Red is more like a traditional
like,
Japanese Oni, if you guys want to look that up.
What is
was that? Like a Hulk?
Just a lumbering demon. Just kind of, yeah.
Huh.
Usually they have, like, a little underbite, like, tusk of some sort comes up
Is
here.
it in like folk tales?
It
or
is,
like...
yeah. The Oni is, yeah. There's a holiday in Japan that's kind of like it's a dividing day between seasons. It's called Setsubun no Hi, and the idea is that you're sort of chasing out the winter the winter is this ugly demon, and you're chasing it away because you're getting into spring. It's in February. And the way that they celebrate this is that you do, mamemaki, which means throwing beans. And that means, in classrooms all across Japan, men will dress up as an oni, as a demon, which is usually like a color like blue or red, and then you wear a loincloth, and you go into a room full of children, and then they throw beans at you relentlessly. So yeah.
I'd like to let everybody know that doesn't know this. Nathan lived in Japan for a little bit.
I did.
This isn't just like Nathan's thing.
Yeah. Well, no, because
I don't know.
Japan
part of me wants the Austrian listeners to think that it is just a weird Nathan thing. That like he'll just keep mentioning Japan and the actual words for things, and they're like, "What's with that dude?" But he's the one who jizzes in container stores, so it makes sense.
I mean, if I did know that much about Japan without having lived there, I'm definitely a creep. Like, Japan is a haven for white creeps, for sure.
Yeah, especially tall, white, blonde, blue-eyed creeps.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not going to go into the details of it. I don't want to go into my personal life for the public.
Jesus Christ. He's not a creep. Just for the fucking record.
No, because I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons with kids that knew as much, if not more, about Japan that have yet to leave South Carolina. So it's like that's a different thing.
Indeed.
That is a different thing. That's a different context to have that information.
Yeah, it's less Discovery Channel and way more.
Yeah, it's mainly like ninja and samurai and
way more like the part of the internet that only hackers can get to.
The deep web. Way more, less Discovery Channel, way more Last House on the Left. Way more kidnapper vibe.
Lots of them cutting.
What?
Did anybody see that video of that guy trying to kidnap that girl in Chicago?
No.
Wait.
Oh, my girlfriend.
No, I really haven't. Tell us about it.
Also, I'm going to throw out just a disclaimer. I don't know if it's like Jimmy Kimmel trying to get us, or if it's a real thing that happened.
You never know anymore.
I'm pretty sure. I want to say anyway. It's a video at at a Dollar General, and it's this guy, and he's like 30, and he's just looking around, and then the next image is him like dragging this 13-year-old girl, and then her mother is like pummeling him, trying to get him off of her, and they go like around a corner, and I think the door's over here in the register, and he gets pretty close to the door, and then he runs off, and an off-duty officer, I believe, kind of like pinned his car in, and then, like told him to move, or not to move, and then arrested him. And
told him to do the opposite. Told him to freeze.
Yeah. But it
move
was
as much as possible.
It was a crazy video. It was just like the middle of the day yesterday, just at a store.
It seems weird that the only thing that makes it feel less legitimate is that it's the Dollar General camera versus someone's cell phone. Is it a cell phone camera?
No.
Because cell phone cameras, I believe, every time.
Closed circuit?
I always thought,
it's
how did the closed circuit get released?
And that was the thing that I thought.
It only
Like,
cost $1.
why would they release that? Wait, what'd you say? Oh, I missed it.
The Dollar General, it only cost $1.
Oh, okay.
Associated Press, when they find those bargains, they jump on them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like
that's
this
crazy.
man.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I always assumed those security cameras were purely decorative.
Yeah.
So much as like,
Oh, me too.
okay, yeah, you guys are really worried about me right now.
Well, and I also really just question the efficacy of that kidnapping tactic.
Yeah.
Like,
Dragging someone?
Just the drag?
I
The
mean,
drag and drop?
Yeah.
Maybe if there was one right by the door.
I mean, it's a great way to move files on your desktop.
But it's no
Not
good.
a great way to kidnap a 13-year-old. That's a strong youth.
Yeah.
You're thinking you should, if you're going to kidnap
If you're
younger.
if you're doing the drag and drop, at least get something. At least get a handheld.
I mean,
Oh my god!
grab 5 bottles of Powerade and a baby or something. Like,
my
what Nathan
God.
is trying to say is you draw more flies with honey.
I just feel like there's
Yeah,
no way
that's
this guy
crazy.
wasn't going to mess up a later step. You know, there's no way he wasn't going to get convinced to pull over to a Carl's Jr. because she had to go to the bathroom and she was going to get away in like a marsh, you know?